Good morning. It's always so awkward, that first good morning in this video, because it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So my voice isn't started yet, my brain's barely started. Okay, had a sip of coffee. Good morning, here we are, back doing some more painting. It's kind of funny because the sketchbook spread, I realized just the rate of painting, the speed of painting, it's probably going to take multiple 6 a.m. sessions. But I was kind of like really looking forward to it because I was like, I don't know. I just was looking forward to it. Like I was thinking about this at work yesterday and even going to bed last night. I was like, oh man, I get to work on that. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I think it's just kind of the idea of it's nice to not have to start something new all the time. Sometimes starting something new is fun, and other times it's kind of nice to know that you've got something already going and you just get to dive back into it whenever you want. So I was thinking about it this morning. I was doing my morning journaling, and I feel a certain type of way about this particular palette because on the one hand, this is a set that I bought, and I genuinely think it has been more than a couple years since I last used it. I don't remember the last time I used it. I genuinely don't. I couldn't even begin to guess the last time I used this. I don't know that I have used this since I moved into my current house 4 years ago. Maybe I have used it in those 4 years, but I don't remember. And so there's a certain amount of guilt tied to that. And if you are an artist and you've bought supplies that you've never used, or really, I feel like a lot of people do this even outside of the art world. You buy something that you're like, yep, this will make me be a better artist or something. You know, if I have the right tools, the right clothes, the right look, the right technology, whatever, the world is mine. And then you buy it, and then you don't use it, and life goes on. I feel like everybody does that. But anyway, so that's how I felt about this palette. I felt, you know, there's a little bit of shame associated with it, a little bit of guilt, because you're like, wow, I spent a significant amount of money on this and then never used it, or rarely used it, or stopped using it, or whatever. So this particular palette had me feeling a little bit guilty. It's like I almost didn't want to pull it out because I wanted to like forget that I did that to myself. But also, this palette, I purchased it at a time where I was pretty obsessed with watercolors. It was a time where, back then where I was constantly watching videos about watercolors. I was like researching pigments. I was just real deep into the watercolor social media space, I guess. And it was really fun because at the time I actually was painting somewhat more. And I just would watch all of these videos, all of these like art haul videos where people would buy multiple watercolor sets. Whoa, it's bleeding, oh well. And I just like lived and breathed watercolor videos and watercolor related content all the time. I'm kind of nostalgic for that because it was fun. It was really fun, and I did learn a lot, and yeah, so it's like I don't know that I regret buying these paints. I kind of regret that I didn't also put in the practice to match the money that I put in, you know? That's what I feel like I wasn't living up to the art supplies expectations. I'm glad I'm getting them out now. I feel like I'm slowly kind of getting away from that. That feeling of like, I don't deserve these paints. I bought these paints a little at a time. I did not go out and buy like a Daniel Smith set, I don't think. Pretty sure. What I remember doing, this is years ago, so maybe I'm misremembering, but what I remember doing is I would like purchase them a few tubes at a time from like Blick Art Supply or Jackson's sometimes, because I would order paper from Jackson's and then just throw in a couple paints or something. So that's what I did to slowly build up my collection, which I think is actually a good way to build up a watercolor collection, because you don't spend a bunch of money on colors that maybe aren't quite your thing. You just pick out colors that appeal to you. Anyway, so I built it up slowly over time, but I actually completely forgot that I owned Sennelier paints, which just kind of kills me a little bit. That's like, oh my gosh, these are somewhat expensive. Like Sennelier and Daniel Smith are professional grade paints, and I forgot that I owned them. Anyway, but here I am using them again. I want to add something to this blue. I'm having the urge to add some purple. It's a nice collection though, I must say. I did a good job picking out colors. And when I talk about like back then, when I was like watching all that YouTube content and watching all the art hauls and stuff, I don't mean that as a criticism of the YouTubers that I was watching. I'm not saying like you shouldn't watch YouTube art hauls or you shouldn't make YouTube art hauls. It was just me at the point being convinced that buying supplies could be a substitute for making art. Or like buying a new art supply, like it made you feel all excited and inspired, but it was like a quick, easy way to feel inspired instead of actually doing the work. You just buy inspiration instead of sitting down and drawing and painting. And that's definitely what I was doing with a lot of these paints. So I think it's completely fine to make art haul videos and watch art haul videos. I think you just need to remember those videos are for education. You're not supposed to actually go out and just buy a massive art haul on a regular basis. And maybe you guys are better at discerning that than I certainly was a few years ago. I'm a lot better about it now, thankfully. I still occasionally get influenced. It happens. That's okay. I think it's okay to do that occasionally. It's just when you're like convinced that you need to spend money to get good at your art, that's where it gets dangerous. I have a tendency to just kind of want to like lean a bit neutral with character costume. Whoa. I have a tendency to kind of want to keep all of my costume designs pretty neutral, like kind of subtle blues and purples and grays and blacks. Like it's just kind of what I lean towards. Like the idea of using pink and red in a costume to me like feels intimidating. So I'm kind of trying to get past that with these little sketches here. Okay, I'm liking it. I do want these. I feel like it's okay to use neutrals for like shoes and socks, little accents. But it's really fun to make the characters, the actual outfits, a bit more colorful. It's funny, when I was first thinking about like I really wanted to do a daily practice of watercolor. And you guys saw I did purchase some new art supplies in an early video. It's at the side of my desk. This Niji water palette, I bought that from Michael's. So I did buy some, but I did not buy those because I was starting the series. I bought them because I kind of had already started the series. And I think that's kind of how I would like to buy supplies, like going forward, is to really think about if I could tie the supply. If there's a supply that I want to buy, can I tie that supply to a practice I already have? Like, I already paint every day, so it makes sense to buy new paints. Okay, although I don't need to buy paints for a while. But if you can tie it to, like, yes, I already have this practice and I think this tool will integrate to an existing practice. I think that's a good way to buy your art supplies. It kind of overcomes the danger of, like, I don't have this practice in place, but I bet if I spend this money on this tool or this art supply, I bet the practice will just, like, happen. It will just magically occur. As soon as I have just the right supplies, just the right tools, just the right technology, all of a sudden I will have this habit and this discipline. I think that's dangerous. But buying tools for a habit you already have, a routine that's already in place, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I think I'll use Payne's Gray, which part of me is like hearing my art teacher in the back of my head. And I think a lot of, if you're a little bit more classically, traditionally trained, I don't know if you had an art teacher who told you not to use gray or black for shadows, but I sure did. And there's good reasons for that, but I think for this, I'm kind of going for a more animated look. So I think because like a gray shadow or a black shadow sometimes like flattens the illustration. That's kind of what I'm going for with this art style. Like, I'm going for a very stylized animation, manga-y look. So I think it'll be okay. Oh, I like that. It's just real subtle, but I like it. And this Payne's Gray has just a slight, like, just barest cool tint, so it's not just straight on black, which I like. Whoa. Need a bit more pigment. I didn't want to over-render these, like by doing a super complex, dynamic, dramatic lighting source. But I feel like just adding a bit of shading. Just gonna add a bit of dimension without going overboard. I think that's pretty cute. It's funny, it's real subtle, but I really feel like it just takes these to the next level. Okay, I'm actually gonna try black. I just wanna see how it looks. I just wanna try. Okay, rinse off my brush to blend this out just a bit more. The black is a bit intense. And the dog's kind of already shaded. Just add a little hint here and there. Okay. And maybe for this lady, we'll use some purple to kind of go with her much brighter, warmer clothing. white there on the edge as a like reflected light. Fun fact, I don't know what I'm wearing to work today. I really need to do laundry, but here I am painting instead. Okay. Oh, it's adding so much richness. All right, so then these three. They're all wearing different colors. I don't want to pick out a bunch of different colors for shading. I think I'm gonna go with indigo. It's funny because I feel like some of these colors that I'm adding as shadows, they don't necessarily look like shadows, but it does feel like it gives these little sketches just a bit more depth to not be so flatly colored. So even if it doesn't look like a shadow, I feel like it's still a win to add a bit more color variety. All right, this is probably gonna be my last guy for today because it's almost 6:30. That went on pretty intense. So just dry my brush a little bit and then basically absorb some of that excess water to lighten it. I think he's supposed to have a beard. Oh well. Okay. I think that is it for today. Boy, I feel like I did not make much progress. I colored these three and then did some shading. Wow. Maybe I will do like a time lapse. What am I doing? This is a very dry brush. Maybe I will do a time lapse for some of these other ones, but I kind of enjoy the slower pace. I think it's worth it. This is gonna be such a fun, cute little spread when they're all colored the same way. And then what I'll probably do is clean it up a little bit, kind of erase the rest of the pencil. It's just gonna take longer. I really thought I would be like, just color this side, and be done, but there's no way I could paint that fast. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope I was able to keep you company as you go about your day, go about your art projects, go about your laundry. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in a future video. Goodbye.